Alright, we're live on YouTube, starting us up on Rumble. Good afternoon! Welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is about interesting and important events that occurred on this calendar date throughout the annals of recorded history. I'm Xander. We will be joined by the Golden Loon here shortly. And of course, you viewer are you. Today is Sunday, aka Sunday, March 8th, 2026. Let's get into the show today, shall we? Starting us off in 764, we have King Balam became king of the Maya city of Palenque, its last known ruler before the city collapsed. 9 centuries ago, in 1126, following the death of his mother, Queen Iraka of Leon, Alfonso VII was proclaimed king of Leon. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Golden Loon here.
Yeah, I saw you jumping right on, like, running on in, like, as I was 9 centuries ago.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta get in here. How are you today?
I'm great.
Nice.
It's a little warmish out here in the Southland.
Yeah, it's toasty. You can see here it's 87 degrees and sunny.
Jeez.
Yeah, so... moving on to 1531, King Henry VIII was recognized as the supreme head of the Church of England by the Convocation of Canterbury. Right? And we spoke about yesterday, that was when his divorce request was declined, or denied, or whatever.
Oh, yeah, by the king.
Mm-hmm. No, by the Pope. By the Pope.
The king's declined by the Pope.
And thus it begins.
Yeah.
So I guess you can say through the transitive property, the Vatican is in their own amount responsible for what happened to all the women that King Henry VIII went through. Their executions, their this, their that, their imprisonment, all because they wouldn't let him divorce. So they just
off with their head.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
1558, the city of Poi, Swedish Bjorneborg, was founded by Duke John on the shores of the Gulf of Bothnia. All right. 1576, Spanish official Diego Garcia de Palacio wrote of his visit to the ruins of Copan to King Philip II of Spain, the first non-Indian to visit and report on a major Maya site. Now, this is weird. Non-Indian. Trying to wrap my mind around it, because Indians weren't called Indians back then. India wasn't called India.
No.
Are they talking about Native American Indians? But it says first not... Oh. Well, I guess...
Read it again.
No, I'm getting it. So this is like the first one of these people to visit this.
Okay.
So, so the first non-Indian to visit and report on a major Maya site. So before that, it was always, the natives of the area.
The natives, yeah.
Yeah. 1658...
Indians isn't the right word.
Yeah, well, it's confusing.
Yeah.
1658, Sweden and Denmark signed the Treaty of Roskilde. Denmark ceded Scania, Trondheim, and Bornholm to Sweden. And the reason why was because after a devastating defeat in the Northern Wars, lasting from 1655 to 1661, Frederick III, the King of Denmark-Norway, was forced to give up nearly half his territory to Sweden. Good gravy.
Yeah.
1702, James II's daughter, Anne Stuart, became Queen of England, Scotland, and Ireland following the death of William III. So, and this is Anne Stuart. Wasn't she the one who killed Queen of the Scotland later, or would? Maybe she's not even the same one. I don't know. Maybe I'm just having a stupid moment. 1711, Antoine de Guichard, a French and English spy, failed in an attempt to murder English Chancellor of the Exchequer Robert Harley. Harley survived the stabbing, and Guichard died later from injuries sustained in the fracas. So he ended up just initiating a situation in which he himself got killed later on.
He was a spy for the French and the English.
Yeah, double agent.
Who was he spying for, though?
Well, he's a French and English spy, so I think he might have been a double agent.
And spying against who, though? This guy here?
Well, no, this is not a spy thing. This is just his occupation. It has nothing to do with the event.
Okay.
Yeah, and Tony Guichard, who just like how a McDonald's worker is a McDonald's worker, but if they're involved in a homicide, being a McDonald's worker has nothing to do with the homicide. That's what they are.
Yeah.
So, 1775, an anonymous writer thought to be by some to be Thomas Paine published African Slavery in America, which was the first article in the American colonies calling for the emancipation of slaves and the abolition of slavery.
Oh, yeah.
All the way back in 1775.
Yeah.
And you'd think that our primary source, being as leftist as it is, it would say that, but it goes from 1766 to 1777. This is 1775. It's not even in there. That's awful. 1777, though, regiments from Ansbach and Bayreuth, sent to support Great Britain in the American Revolutionary War, mutinied in the town of Oceanfort. All right. So they didn't join in on the fighting and all that stuff, at least at that point. 1782, we have the Gnadenhutten Massacre. Ohio militia killed 90 Native Americans. The other source says 96 natives in Gnadenhutten, Ohio, who had converted to Christianity, were killed by Pennsylvania militiamen in retaliation for raids carried out by other Indian tribes. That's awful. Mm-hmm. So they're paying for actions of things not even... Yeah. How the hell... What if they don't have anything to do with it? That's bullshit.
It reminds me of wanting to pay people now reparations.
Yeah.
For something that nobody's even alive for.
Yeah. God.
Or in this case, this state was always free.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we covered that yesterday. It entered the Union as a free state. Yeah. 1813, the first concerto of Royal Philharmonic. All right. 1817, the New York Stock Exchange was founded, and here we have a picture of it. It's a more modern picture, but yeah. What else do we got here? 1838, the U.S. Mint in New Orleans began operation producing dimes. All right. 1844, the Althing, a Parliament of Iceland, or the Parliament of Iceland, was reopened after 45 years of closure. So I guess it closed in 1799. 44, 45. So that's interesting. 1855, the first train crossed the first U.S. railway suspension bridge in Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls. Slowly.
I don't want to be the first train across the suspension bridge. Is this going to work? Go check it out. See if it works.
I guess you had to, suspend your self-preservation. So, 1862, Confederate ironclad Merrimack was launched. It's telling me to image search this, but actually, it's more or less the same as the other one. So, but that is a picture of the Merrimack, not the other one, whatever one it was. But they made several ironclad ships like this.
You take all the ironworks off of that, and it looks like a steamboat going down the Mississippi.
Well, that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
They just slapped on a bunch of armor on it.
Yeah, protection coat.
1962 as well, we have a naval engagement at Hatton Roads, Virginia, in which the CSS Virginia, Jamestown, and Yorktown versus the USS Cumberland, Congress, and Monitor. That's interesting. How do you have a naval engagement on roads? I know that's the name of the city, but I'm just being stupid, Boats are not supposed to be on land. 1867, British North America Act was passed in the House of Commons, served as Canada's constitution for more than 100 years. Awesome. 1868, Sakai Incident, Japanese samurai killed 11 French sailors in the port of Sakai, Osaka. And another example of their...
Samurais had... they were the law and order.
Yeah, but...
no repercussions to a samurai, no matter what he did.
Well... You're saying as if the French sailors did something wrong, like
I'm not saying
Japan's
that at all.
culture. What I'm saying is Japan's culture is notoriously xenophobic, and they probably just killed these because they're not Japanese. I don't know. It's just.
Well, I'm not going to go there either.
I'm not saying it is.
I'm just did or didn't do.
I'm just saying that they've been known to just kill.
All I'm saying is a samurai was the final word.
Yeah.
You were beheaded by a samurai.
Yeah.
You deserved it.
1884, Susan B. Anthony addressed the U.S. House Judiciary Committee, arguing for an amendment to the U.S. Constitution granting women the right to vote, 16 years after legislators first introduced a federal women's suffrage amendment. So, this has been going on for a while. Just give them the dang right to vote. Come on.
But the only thing I can say is they're coin bombed.
Huh. Why?
Do you ever see a Susan B. Anthony dollar coin?
Well, that's because of systemic sexism.
No. Come on.
Well, no, seriously, there is
the coin.
I know, but there is a thing because, I look back at when they took the Native American out of the Land O'Lakes, when they took the black lady out of Aunt Jemima, when they took the black guy off of Uncle Ben's rice, but they left the white guy on the Quaker Oats. They are using the veil of equality and civil rights to get rid of everything non-white. And then you brought up that that where is her coin? I'm just like, where is her coin? It's a little weird that we have all these coins in circulation and common use, and they're all depicting men, but we don't have anything for women. We have the Susan B. Anthony, but it's not commonly used. Why? That's weird.
We should have a dollar coin. Should be part of change.
Yeah. 1887, Everett Horton of Connecticut patented a fishing rod made of telescoping steel tubes. And I'm going to image search this, but I do have... Oop, I did not mean to do that. Oh well. Let's image search that really quick here. And then I'm going to try to see if I can find the image I just got rid of. Oh, that... oh, that one. Okay, that one's important. So I'm going to put her back there. All right. What do we got here with the telescopic metal tube thing? This wouldn't have been exciting for the thumbnail, but it's still, like it's a blueprint. And this actually has several different options.
It has no eye appeal, though. Now that looks kind of cool.
We have, we have bait casting rod number 25, 27, and 33. Yeah. But but you can see that their handles are slightly different. Yeah. That's still pretty cool. What else do we got here? 1894, the state of New York enacted the nation's first dog licensing law. Yeah. 1896.
Tax on your dog.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you don't want to get taxed on your dog, then don't have a dog. Why
don't we tax cats?
We do.
No, we don't.
Probably.
Have you ever gotten a tack collar or tack license? I was going to say dog license, but a cat license?
I've never had a dog or a cat, so I don't know. No. I've had a fish and a turtle, or a tortoise. Oh.
Why don't we tax them?
They probably do.
Where's the tag for those guys?
Well, you're sure it's all taxed when you buy the food and the enclosure and the this and the that, Mm-hmm. Oh. What else do we got here? 1896, Volunteers of America formed in New York City. What is Volunteers of America? Is it like, what are they volunteering for? What are they? Barrington Booth, founder of the Volunteers of... But what is the Volunteers of... Here we go. Volunteers of America, upstate New York. I just saw a picture of something. Okay, who we are. At Volunteers of America, we are dedicated to creating lasting change in the community through safe housing, comprehensive human services, enriching education, and access to quality health. Oh, so basically, people of lower income, their general...
social program, private social home.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
1900, the National League decided to go with 8 teams. They excluded Baltimore, Cleveland, Louisville, and Washington. Although later on in 1953, the Boston Braves moved to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
All right.
The Milwaukee Braves, absolutely right.
1910, Baroness Raymond D. Laurent of Paris became the first licensed female pilot. All right. That's this lady.
Look at her. Good for her.
Yeah. I remember that story when we were at the Pima Air and Space Museum out in Arizona. Like they were talking about some lady trying to get her pilot's license.
Yes.
And then the trainer put a block under her acceleration pedal so that way he can like lock her out or something. And then she got it out and then she still took off or something. He did something screwy. So 1913, Internal Revenue Service began to levy and collect income taxes. Speaking of taxes, here's the IRS. Screw you, Rothschilds, and damn you to hell, Woodrow Wilson. 1913, MLB Federal League organized with 6 teams, including the Chicago Whales, who built and played at Wingman Park, which is now Wrigley Field. The league folded after 3 seasons. Well, of course, it was the Federal League, 1915, the first U.S. Navy mine layer, the Baltimore, was commissioned. So now laying sea mines and everything. 1 year later, the U.S. invaded Cuba for the 3rd time, this one to end corrupt Menoncal regime. Like, by the 3rd time, just annex the damn place, Clearly you're thirsty for the island, so just keep it. 1917, Russian February Revolution began in earnest with protests celebrating International Women's Day and riots in St. Petersburg over food rations and conduct of the war. The old style is February 23rd, in which this happened, in the Julian calendar, that is. And we're going to have a couple more articles involving Women's Day, and most of them, like, aren't involving good things and everything. So I'm just like, should we continue having Women's Day? Especially, like, is there a Men's Day?
No.
Because, okay, well then, either have a Men's Day or don't have a Women's Day. You want equality. And then there's a Mother's Day, but but there's a Women's Day, so there should be a Men's
How
Day.
come there isn't a Kids Day? Every day's Kids Day.
Well, me being a male kid, at least to you, there's always a day 1 week. It's Son's Day. It's my day. Anyway, 1917, the U.S. Senate introduced the cloture rule, requiring 2/3 majority to end debate at the urging of Woodrow Wilson. Well,
yeah, the cloture.
Is that a good or a bad thing? I presume bad, because anything this jackass involves himself in, he's a piece of crap.
Well, he is, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not even sure if I still think they have it, but there's ways around it, so I don't know how strong it is to protect what you're trying to do.
Yeah. 1920, Denmark and Cuba joined the League of Nations. All right. And then 365 days later, before I continue on with that, I'm just going to see if I have any comments. No comments there. There you are. And no comments on Rumble either. 1921, Spanish Premier Eduardo Dato Iradier was assassinated while exiting the Parliament building in Madrid. And on his way home from the Parliament building. So, wow. Sucks. 1924, coal mine explosion killed 171 at Castle Gate in Utah. It was a mine disaster. The other source says 172 coal miners. So, minor discrepancy. 1927, Pan American Airlines Incorporated. And we have that. Okay. Pan American, of course.
Pan Am.
1929, the U.S. Worker Union Commission reported of slavery in Liberia.
Whoa.
Well, I mean...
Why is U.S. Workers Worker Union?
Yeah, concerning themselves involving Liberia, I have no clue.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know. 1930, baseball slugger Babe Ruth signed a 2-year contract for a then huge $160,000 with the New York Yankees. General Manager Ed Barrow wrongfully predicted no one will ever be paid more than Ruth.
Tax-free. No taxes then.
So 160,000.
Maybe they started taxes. I forget. We did a deal not too long ago on the date of income tax starting.
1930 to 2026. So let's see here. Let's see how much that money would be worth today. It would be worth $3,116,186.83 today, which sounds on the lower end.
Way low.
Okay.
Way low.
Okay.
I think average players are getting more than that.
Nah, that's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
1934, Edwin Hubble photo showed as many galaxies as Milky Way had stars. Now, I found 2 images. Okay?
So this is the Hubble...
Edwin Hubble photo. This is not the Hubble telescope. This is 34.
No, yeah. Oh, of course, yeah.
But this is, the telescope is named after him.
Yes.
But I'm gonna bigger this because I don't want to undo the surprise. But I'm gonna show you 2 pictures that I discovered. So boom, look at all of that.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Pow!
Whoa.
Holy God!
Whoa!
Yeah, I know, right? Like that's the first thing that went through my mind when I saw it. I'm just like, oh, I gotta save both of these pictures and show those to you.
Yeah.
1936, the first stock car race was held in Daytona Beach, Florida. Daytona Beach and Rose Course held its first oval stock car race. And I believe this is actually an image of it.
That wouldn't be the Daytona 500 yet, then. Not yet.
Well, this was during the Rum Runners.
Yeah.
This is 1936 in the middle, in the height of... Actually, no. The Roaring 20s it was when... because of Prohibition. That's right. So this is when it became above ground.
Yeah.
So this is when it went from rum running to mainstream.
Yeah.
Okay. 1937, Spanish Civil War, the Battle of Guadalajara began.
Guadalajara.
But isn't that in Mexico?
Yeah.
So what does the Spanish Civil War have to do with Mexico?
I don't know.
By 1937, Spain does not own the lands of Mexico anymore. They're long gone.
True.
So is this...
But in the Spanish Civil War in Mexico?
No, it's in Spain.
Guadalajara begins. So they're talking about Mexico there.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering. Like the Spanish Civil War, but Guadalajara, what?
I know. Something's wrong.
Something weird. I'm going to have to look this up here.
No, one of the two.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, did they fight out in Mexico? Battle of Guadalajara. Okay. Let's see here. Saw the victory of the Spanish Republican Army and the international brigades over the Italian and nationalist forces attempting to encircle Madrid during the Spanish Civil War. What the hell? Okay, so freaking
Madrid's in
Spain.
Spain.
Yeah. So
what does the
Guadalajara have anything? Well, actually, apparently it's a region. Guadalajara is a city and municipality in Spain located in the autonomous community of Castilla-La Mancha. Okay, so there's a Guadalajara in Mexico and Spain. All right. So we just learned something new there. 1941, we have the first baseball player drafted in World War II was Hugh McCloskey of the Phillies. Name ring a bell at all, or?
No, that's way before my time.
Well, I mean, you can still learn history. All of this is before my time.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's not something baseball lore that I'm going to know.
Well, I don't know. 1943, 335 Allied bombers attacked the German city of Nuremberg, a center for military production. That's a lot of bombers when you think about it.
Yeah, how many again?
335.
Yeah, that's a bunch.
1943 as well, limited gambling was legalized in Mexico. All right. 1945, 53 Amsterdammers were executed by Nazi occupiers. That's terrible. 45 as well, International Women's Day was first observed, and I asked again, when is International Men's Day, Males Day, whatever. 1945, Nazi Sicherheitsdienst, or SD, intelligence agency executed 116 prisoners, that's 116, and one reluctant police official at De Woesthoeve, Netherlands, in response to the raid by resistance forces 2 days earlier. So, by this extra line here, and one reluctant police official, he would not follow orders in executing them, so they executed him with them.
I guess so.
I mean, you see that all the time in movies and everything, and it looks like it actually happened. We have a potential historical document of that event.
Well, if you don't kill that guy, you lose all credibility of everybody else. Then everybody else will fall in line in the army.
Well,
unfortunately.
I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees.
No, that's fine. I got what you're saying.
I know.
It's very noble of that guy, but that's what they're going to do. They have to kill him. They have no choice. Because if they let him off the hook, then someone else is going to go, I guess I don't have to follow that crap.
1945, Phyllis M. Daly was the first black nurse sworn in as a U.S. Navy ensign. All right.
Oh,
congratulations.
Awesome.
Yeah. 1 year later, the first helicopter license for commercial use, in New York City. Wait a minute. Okay, I guess I don't have an image of that helicopter. 1948, U.S. Supreme Court ruled in McCollum versus Board of Education that religious instruction in public schools is unconstitutional. Well, separation of church and state.
Yeah.
1949 as well, President of France Vincent Autel and ex-Vietnamese Emperor Bao Day signed the Elysee Accords, giving Vietnam greater independence from France and creating the state of Vietnam to oppose Viet Minh-led Democratic Republic of Vietnam. So the communists and everything. Finally, moving on into 1950 here, we have the first woman medical officer assigned to a naval vessel, B.R. Walters. All right. 1950, the iconic Volkswagen Type 2 bus began production. And that's what this image is.
Would that have to be something for a woman, being a nurse, on a ship?
Yeah.
With nothing but guys there.
Oh, well.
That's got to be a little bit...
very kind of concerning,
Well, I'm not talking about she'd be raped or anything. I'm just saying, who does she connect with? She's got to find some guy friends, I guess. Just to hang out.
Or she can also be snuggled.
Well, I didn't want to go there.
I don't want to go there, but, it is concerning if she's the only woman there. I mean, I don't know. Men can
was thinking in terms of her connecting with different people.
Men can be pigs. So, 1953, census indicated 239,000 farmers gave up farming in the last 2 years in the U.S. That's very concerning.
Yeah.
Where's our food coming from?
That during, what was that, 50s?
53.
No, that wasn't during the, what do you call it, all the winds and all that stuff. That was way early. That was in the 30s, I think.
Oh, you're talking about the Dust Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was the 30s.
Yeah.
The Great Depression.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just an economic thing.
Right.
We got hit with the dust. We got like double, triple punched during that time. The whole world got screwed.
But they learned how to grow food better.
Cultivate, yeah.
Cultivate,
yeah, you
rotate crops.
Yeah. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Burping up a storm over there.
I don't know why, just something.
1957, Egypt reopened the Suez Canal after Israel withdrew from occupied Egyptian territory, and they did so because the UN, told them to. Makes you wonder, because you look at Israel and all their history, and we bring this up, all the time, and everything. To my knowledge, they've never done any of these pulling outs or any of that through the kindness of their heart. They've always been ordered to. Otherwise,
Well,
they would have just stayed there.
They wouldn't have listened to the UN unless they had some kind of signed documents, some kind of peace treaty signatures and stuff like that, which the UN may have negotiated.
Well, it says here in compliance with a UN resolution right there.
Yeah.
So
that's after they got peace treaties and whatever, I'm sure.
Well, why can't they do the right thing without being told to do it? Is my question.
How do you know it's the right thing?
Because it's not their land. They're leaving Egypt. It's not their land.
But if they were attacked and they got land after they responded to the attack, in theory, that could be your land. We generally try to negotiate that not to happen. That happens many times. Countries will come in and invade there. Look what Russia tried to do.
Yeah.
He's trying to take the whole Donbass. Now it's ours. He took Crimea. Now it's ours. That's not right.
True. Anyway, moving on up to 1958, Silky Sullivan came from 40 lengths back to win by 3 at Santa Anita. That's a hell of a comeback there. William Faulkner said U.S. schools have degenerated to become babysitters. I absolutely agree. Schools are worthless. 59, Groucho, Chico, and Harpo Marx's final TV appearance together.
Oh, man. The Groucho Marx show.
Yeah.
Who do you trust?
Nobody. There's I want to show you a picture. I was thinking about adding this to the thumbnail, but who is this fourth person?
That's one of the brothers also. Wait. That guy up on the top is not a brother.
Yeah.
I don't know who he is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we have these 3 people, these 3 people, these 3 people, and then these 4 people.
I don't know.
And all these 3 people.
They may have been on his show or something. Who knows?
I don't know.
But that's not one of the brothers.
Yeah. I figured one of them was unlike the other.
Or you could see the difference. That guy was all dressed properly.
Yeah. 1961, the U.S. nuclear submarine Patrick Henry arrived at Scottish Naval Base of Holy Loch from South Carolina in a record undersea journey of 66 days and 22 hours. Epic. 1964, Malcolm X resigned from the Nation of Islam. Probably to, yeah. 1965, first U.S. combat forces arrived in Vietnam on the beaches of Da Nang. And I have an image of that. Yep, here we go. It started. Oh.
Yeah.
And this one here actually knew some people that went there and unfortunately did not come back. So,
A person, yeah.
8, just one?
Just one.
Well,
that I know of.
That's better than 2, but that still sucks.
Yeah.
But like that's why I have you on the show. Like, you are living history. Like to bring your own perspective, your own. You are a great asset to the show. Believe it or not.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm telling you. 1966, an IRA bomb destroyed Nelson's column in Dublin, also known as Nelson's Pillar. And I'm just like, what is the significance of that? So I'm just going to do a surface level scratch of that. I just found that interesting. Like, was it some kind of ooh, that looks ancient. What is this? Nelson's Pillar, also known as the Nelson Pillar or simply the Pillar, was a large granite column capped by a statue of Horatio Nelson built in the center of what was then Sackville Street, later renamed O'Connell Street in Dublin, Ireland. Completed in 1809 when Ireland was part of the United Kingdom, it survived until March 1966 when it was severely damaged by explosives planted by Irish Republicans. Its remnants were later destroyed by the Irish Army. That's unfortunate. So it was only up there for 100 some odd years, but that's still not cool. So. 1966 as well, baseball player, manager, and coach Casey Stengel was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in a surprise ceremony.
Yeah.
It almost looks like he's getting ready to look into a nuclear blast with those sunglasses.
Well, you can see he was probably a player there. You can tell by the uniform because he is really old in '62, but still managing. Casey Stengel.
Yeah. 365 days later, New Orleans Saint began selling season tickets. 20,000 were sold in the first day. Yikes. 1968, 6-year-old Tommy Moore scored a hole-in-one in golf at Hagerstown, Maryland. That's impressive.
Wow, yeah.
1971, Joe Frazier ended Muhammad Ali's 31-fight winning streak at Madison Square Garden in New York City, retaining the heavyweight boxing title by unanimous points decision over 15 rounds in the fight of the century.
Yeah.
Dang.
That was big.
Yeah, it looks big.
Yeah.
1971, Radio Hanoi broadcast Jimi Hendrix' Star Spangled Banner. Yeah, I spoke about that earlier. You know what? I'm just gonna play a little bit of this, just because I want to. Because I watched the entire thing earlier. Jimi Hendrix. Hold on a second. Jimi Hendrix's Star Spangled Banner. Here we go. I just want to play a little bit of this here, just so that way people get a taste. No, but
believe it or not,
I believe it. A lot of wild people have served in the armed forces, like Elvis Presley, you know.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. But apparently, according to this comment, he was 26 as of the recording of this.
Yeah.
So
that sounds about right.
But that's you know, and you know what? Actually, hold on a second. Let me bring that back up really quick. I'm going to add it into the underbar section really quick. Let's see here. Copy. And where's the underbar? There we go. Jimi Hendrix.
Star Spangled Banner.
Well, I don't want the title to be too long, so I'll just like Jimi Hendrix right there. So yeah, after the live stream, go check that out. 1972, we have the first flight of the Goodyear blimp Europa N2A, the first airship flown over Britain in 20 years. Wow. An airship, not meaning plane. They're talking about dirigible, blimp, all that stuff. So, well, 20 years. So before that, 1960, 52 or something.
I just always thought the Goodyear blimp was out here in our neck of the woods.
Well, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But that's, they sell over there, too. Yeah.
Yeah, they got a bunch of them.
1973, Eisenhower Tunnel, the world's highest and longest, opened 60 kilometers west of Denver, Colorado.
What was that now?
The world's highest and the world's highest tunnel and the longest tunnel in the U.S., the Eisenhower Tunnel.
Okay.
1973, Paul and Linda McCartney were fined 100 pounds for growing cannabis. All right, that's on par with them. 1974, Charles de Gaulle Airport opened in Paris, France.
Oh yeah.
And I only speak about that because Charles de Gaulle was the Banff. I've been
in that airport.
Yeah. You know what Banff is?
I know what Banff is when you're talking Canada.
What does it mean for Canada?
It's a place, Banff, Canada.
Oh, I'm talking about like BAMF, badass motherfucker.
Oh.
So you want to talk about a goated leader? Charles de Gaulle was awesome. 1975, Royal Canadian Mint announced branch opening in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Rothschilds. 1976, we have 1,174 kilograms. The largest observed stony meteorite fell in Jilin, China. All right. 1978, we have the first ever radio episode of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. It was transmitted on BBC Radio 4. 1 year after that, China withdrew invasion troops from Vietnam. All right. We have the first extraterrestrial volcano discovered on Jupiter's moon Io. Images taken by Voyager 1 prove the existence of volcanoes on Io, a moon of Jupiter. And I presume we already knew of Olympus Mons and all the other volcanoes.
The extraterrestrial? Unless it were here. It's where it belongs.
Well, no, it's an extraterrestrial to us volcano. It's not on Earth.
So the moon is extraterrestrial then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as you're consistent.
Yeah, well, do you know what Terra means?
Terror? Yeah, I'm scared to death.
No, Terra, not terror. Terra is Earth, is ground, it's land.
Oh, okay.
Extraterrestrial, different land. Extra,
Okay.
Extra,
okay.
Land. So, the moon, Mars,
yeah.
Io, Europa, all that stuff. Oh, yeah, I wanted to take pictures of the volcano or see volcanoes. Oh, okay, I see. You can't really, I'm going to open this in a new tab and open this image in a new tab as well. You can't really see that well, but there's a bunch of craters. I don't know how they determine what's an impact crater and what's a volcano, but over here they show things highlighted.
Whoa, those are all volcanoes?
Apparently. They're not going off, but they're highlighted so we can see them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not having a global eruption. No.
I said they're going all the time. Go barbecue,
Well, I mean, some of them are going because look at this. You have plumes coming up. So something's going on.
Yeah.
So they are active, but they're not all going. I think this is all just... Because that all looks like image overlays. That doesn't look real.
Okay.
It's too sharp.
Okay, yeah.
What else do we got here in 1979? Philips demonstrated the compact disc publicly for the first time.
CD.
Yeah. Well, see, as it's been said,
But weren't they in Japan way before us?
initially, yes.
Okay.
But but this is Phillips. They demonstrated the compact disc publicly. That doesn't mean that it's out of Japan. They're demonstrating it publicly.
Yeah.
Could still be in Japan. And as it's been said in the memes and everything, you remember cassettes? They had an A and B side.
Of course.
It makes sense that the next step up in technology would be the CD. A, B, CD. It just so happens to stand for compact disc.
I know. I had an 8-track.
Yeah.
And they couldn't fit them right. So your song will be going along, it's rocking away, and then it stops and click, click, click goes to turn, and then it picks up again. And you're right in the middle of the song.
Oh, that's
stupid.
1980, Greg Chappell, 235, and Yallop, 172 for 217 stand at Faisalabad. Is that cricket? It sounds like cricket.
Oh, God, it's got to, because I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I don't
It
either.
has to be.
I mean, I have to have a cricket. So wait a minute, hold on. Here it is. It is cricket. Okay, I saw the flat bat.
Yeah,
there we go. And a stupid
Telltale
hat.
sign.
Yeah,
The stupid hat.
the stupid puffy ass hat. 1980, the first festival of rock music kicked off in the Soviet Union. That's awesome.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. 83, House of Foreign Affairs Commission endorsed nuclear weapons freeze with USSR.
Yeah.
All right. We also have IBM released PC DOS version 2.0. MS DOS
Personal
command
computer.
prompt. Yep. 1983 as well, President Reagan was the first known use of the term evil empire, discussing about the USSR, in a speech in Florida. So, addressing a convention of evangelicals, U.S. President Ronald Reagan labeled the Soviet Union as an evil empire. Yeah, well, it takes one to know one.
His big thing was when he was over in Germany, and he was giving a speech over there, and he put in the speech, Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Oh, you can't say that, you can't say that. And they made him take him out. Made him take it out, all his advisors. So he got up and he said it anyways. Which is now an all-time line. He did the exact right thing.
You prompted me to do this.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Tear it down. Reagan smash. Reagan smash.
What's that?
Oh, it's just Reagan. Just leave him alone. He'll tire himself out.
Reagan sleepy.
I'm sorry. He prompted me to do that. He's going on about tearing down the wall. My stupid brain has to do stupid brain things, So, but once again, the Reagan movie, not a movie he was in, but the movie about him, and his political career that came out a year or so ago. Good movie. Yeah. And the opening scene, how they did the transition, that was phenomenal cinematography. Whoever directed that, or came up with that idea, brilliant. 1985, a supposed failed assassination attempt on Islamic cleric Saeed Mohammed Hussein Fadlallah in Beirut, Lebanon, killed at least 56 and injured 180 others. 1986, Martina Navratilova was the first tennis player to earn $10 million. Nice.
Oh, she made more than Chrissy Everett, huh?
Apparently. 1987, the A-Team last aired on NBC TV after 4 years. Now, I don't know, she might have made less, but she was the first one to earn $10 million.
Well, she came a little bit after her, so most likely.
Okay.
She may ended up making, I don't know. It could be. Who knows?
87 as well. We have the 17th Easter Seal Telethon, raised $35,184,425. All right. 1980 or 1990 here, in New York City, Zodiac killer shot first victim, Mario Orosico. Yikes. It begins. 91 as well. Plane loads of U.S. troops arrived home from the Persian Gulf. Iraq handing over 40 foreign journalists and 2 U.S. soldiers it had captured. 93, Nigerian singer Fela Kuti was arrested again on suspicion of murder. So, that's kind of weird.
Never heard of it.
Neither have I. But, every now and then there's an article in which, a celebrity or a popular culture figure, becomes under... And I like to bring that to the limelight so that way people remember that all of these celebrities, all of these idols, all of these talking heads, they're just people like you or me. Just because they're on the TV and making millions of dollars does not mean that you need to idolize them. They're fallible.
It's not like their poop doesn't stink.
Exactly. 94, 94, U.S. Defense Department announced smoking ban in workplaces. Here we go. And actually, you know what? Speaking of smoking ban, I want to play the goods opening scene. There's a scene where this guy, actually, hold on a second. The goods airplane scene. I'll actually add this in the underbar section for you to watch it in its entirety because it's over 2 minutes long. But, like, this attitude, you know, people need to have this attitude a lot more. The goods. So, and I'll show it to you after the show. Anyway, what else do we got here? Moving on up to 1996, Fargo, directed and written by Joel and Ethan Coen, starring Frances McDormand, William H. Macy, and Steve Buscemi, was released in the U.S. I have yet to see that movie. And apparently, now something I heard about Steve Buscemi, apparently he had served in the FDNY, the New York Fire Department, in the 1980s or something, as like a volunteer or whatever. And then after 9/11, he actually volunteered to help, you know, the cleanup crew and all that stuff. And he avoided the press. He specifically said, you know, no autographs, no photos. Don't tell people I'm here. I'm just here to help. Everybody else can volunteer. You know, period. Can f off. You know, like you know, so you.
But I don't know who that guy is.
Steve Buscemi?
Yeah.
Well, you'll know immediately as soon as you see his face. He's a very, you know, like he's not like an amazing actor or any of that, but very recognizable actor.
Oh, that guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh. Anyway, 1990, or actually 2000 and 2004, a new constitution was signed by Iraq's governing council after the invasion and occupation by U.S.-led forces. 2010, headlined by Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. Wait, hold on a second. This is Ric Flair, I think. Ric Flair. TNA Wrestling moved its flagship program, TNA Impact, to Monday night. This effort to go big time live ultimately failed, but was notable in the history of professional wrestling television. Why did I misspell things so horribly in that article?
He died not too long ago.
Ric Flair?
No.
Hulk Hogan?
Yeah.
I think, wait, what?
Yeah.
I think you may be right, but Hulk Hogan died July 24th, 2025.
Yeah.
Wow.
6-9 months ago.
I mean, I could have sworn I heard about it, but at the same time, it's still kind of news to me. Like, wow. Huh. He almost got me into wrestling, Hulk Hogan.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no, like, you know, like every, you know, like, you know, kid and everything in the 90s, you know, wrestling, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But then he changed his name to Hollywood Hogan, and I thought he was being, like, you know, a freaking...
Hulk Hogan changed his name to Hollywood Hogan?
Yes.
Yikes, I didn't know.
Well, no. He didn't do it willingly. Okay. Now, when I was a kid and I heard about that, I first thought, oh, he's just being like every other celebrity. Like, you know, oh, now I'm Hollywood Hogan. I'm Hollywood. Oh, blah. No. Now, the reason why, and I didn't comprehend this as a kid, but this ultimately led me to not really caring about wrestling. But had I not been misconstrued in thinking that way, the real reason was because Marvel was suing him over the Hulk.
Oh.
So.
Yeah. So he had to change it just to drop it.
Yeah.
Oh, my grandfather, and this would be back in the 50s, when I fully remember, he loved wrestling. Oh, did you see that, Lil?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, freaking Alice, like, a couple doors down from one of her old jobs was, what was that wrestler that punted a baby doll? Like...
I know nothing about wrestling.
But no, a retired wrestler, like, you know, owned a business a couple doors down from where she worked, and she was actually friends with him. She got another friend of ours, this guy named Zanny, an autograph from him, and all that stuff. Hold on a second. Wrestler who kicked... Damn it.
What did he kick? A doll?
A baby doll.
Who cares?
No, that's the wrestler.
Oh.
Who was... Okay... not baby doll. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. Like, I just gotta look this up. Wrestler who kicked a baby doll. Okay, so Snitsky. Something Snitsky. I don't remember his first name or whatever. But Yeah, like in the ring, like as part of a stunt or whatever, he kicked him in. Now this is the same wrestler because it doesn't appear that you're following me. Okay, you remember Alice, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You remember when she worked at that vitamin shop or whatever?
Yeah.
Several doors down, that wrestler owned the business, and she was friends with him.
I see.
Okay. Now we're on the same page. 2012, Toyota recalls 700,000 vehicles over safety concerns.
Wow.
Yikes.
Wow.
2013, North Korea terminated all peace pacts with South Korea. Pretty fitting for them. And here we go, a big one here. In 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 with 239 people on board lost contact and disappeared, prompting the most expensive search effort in history and one of the most enduring aviation mysteries. That the fate of the flight remains unknown. However, they have restarted the investigation. They're looking. They have some kind of new technology or something, so the case is reopened. So they're looking for them again. 2017, Aboriginal DNA study by the University of Adelaide in Australia. The Aboriginal population dates back to 50,000 years from a single migration. So somehow they migrated when Africa was still physically connected. So not Africa, Australia was connected to something. And that's 50,000 years ago is when, as far back as we can tell, is when the first Aboriginals, or what became the Aboriginals, got there. We also have in 2017, the Football Club Barcelona was in a great comeback, became the first team to overturn a 4-0 deficit, beating Saint Germain 6-5 in return game to reach the Champions League quarterfinals. Another comeback. That's wild. Yeah. The Azure window, a natural arch on the Maltese island of Gozo, collapsed in stormy weather. We covered that yesterday. That arch thing, in the ocean that collapsed.
Yeah, I do remember something. I don't remember exactly what.
Well, like I'll
don't look it up. That's
I'll look it up so that way you can refresh your memory here. This.
Oh yeah.
2018, 5 million Spanish women marked International Women's Day by striking over gender inequality and sexual discrimination. Well, you want to talk about inequality? When's the Males' Day? You're sitting there, griping about inequality on a day dedicated to you when there's no day dedicated to us. Well, then you should be talking about where's our equality, huh? How about that?
That's not our country.
It doesn't matter. Like I'm saying, if you're going to sit there and want equality, then you really must, advocate for equality for both sides. It says here, the first Art March, a social political demonstration, was held being International Women's Day in Karachi, Pakistan. Since then, annually held across Pakistan, and feminist slogan, Mera Jism Meri Marzi, my body, my choice, in demand for women's right to bodily autonomy and against gender-based violence, crime, and a vogue in Pakistan.
Well, in all fairness, I would say Pakistan perhaps had plenty of stuff the women had plenty of stuff to protest about for equality.
I'm not saying
they've been super suppressed for many.
I'm not saying they haven't been. What I'm saying is, if you're going to sit there on International Women's Day and demand equality when there's not an International Men's Day, then you got to hold that protest on some other day because you're using an unequal thing to cry for equality. I understand you've been oppressed, but if you want to advocate for equality, you have to do so across the board, or you're not doing it at all. Simple as that. Equality. Am I wrong?
Well, functionally you are, because you pick a day like that to rally the troops. We can have a big rally with women if we do it on this day. If we just do it on next Sunday of the equinox, people aren't going to show up.
Oh, you don't know that. 2018, U.S. President Donald Trump authorized tariffs on steel and aluminum, excluding Canada and Mexico. Yeah.
Okay. Hitting China on that baby.
Good.
Because they were great at dumping stuff in here. Do you know what dumping is?
Explain. Like trash or something, or what?
No, they would dump steel and aluminum in a different country, like here, below what it cost.
Oh, okay.
Because they're just moving product. They don't care if they lose money.
True.
But we can't compete with that.
Yeah. 2019, U.S. national women's soccer team sued for equal pay by filing a federal gender discrimination lawsuit against the United States Soccer Federation. I wonder if they came up with findings similar to the WNBA and found that they actually owed them money. No. Oh, you want to pay your fair share? Okay, give me $60,000. That's your fair share. Give me $60,000.
I overpaid.
Yeah. 2021, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said the Kung Flu pandemic has had a, quote, extremely unfair, end quote, effect on income and economic opportunities for women. Oh, shut up.
No, see,
You know, this is why I'm so fed up with all this
That's a different
feminist
situation.
bullshit. Well, no, like, that's why I'm across the board. I'm fed up. I've had enough. If everything is going to be like some kind of systematic problem against them, why don't we just burn the earth down then? 2021 International Women's Day marches in Mexico became violent with 62 police officers and 19 civilians injured in Mexico City alone. So here we go. That's the third article in which International Women's Day is being used for ultimate violence. Just stop. Pick another date so that way you don't besmirch the image, because that's the other side of the fork that I'm trying to express. With all this stuff happening on International Women's Day and the ultimate ends and things like this, then you're making it look bad. Because then in the future, if another group wants to advocate, for women's rights on International Women's Day with such a history of violence, then now people will stop showing up and stop paying attention because it only brings pain. 2021, 28 political institutions in Myanmar established the National Unity Consultative Council, a historic allegiance of ethnic armed organizations and democratically elected leaders in response to the 2021 Myanmar coup d'etat. 2022, Florida Senate passed controversial, and this is from our primary source here, so, bear with me. This is going to be incredibly leftist propaganda bullshit. Quote, parental rights and education bill known as the Don't Say Gay bill, in quote, restricting teachers from discussing gender identity, and then I added this, and pushing trans propaganda and child mutilation ideas, like those hormone suppressors and all that stuff. The whole don't say, there was nothing about homosexuals in that bill. It was to prevent teachers from, doing and saying things to their children when they're like freaking 3 years old or whatever it is in preschool and all. That's what it was all aimed at. But the left, being the left, they have to misconstrue everything with their misinformation propaganda. So that's why I say, educate yourself out there. I'm trying to find the actual
one Disney tried to come back and attack them on.
Yeah.
In Florida.
Yeah.
Where did they come up short?
Yeah. Disney needs to shut the hell up. 2022 as well, Brandon announced the U.S. is banning Russian oil imports, with the U.K. phasing out imports by the end of the year. All right. We also have reigning NFL major most valuable player Aaron Rodgers agreed to remain with the Green Bay Packers in a reported 4-year, $200 million deal that would make him the highest paid player in NFL history. Until tomorrow, apparently. In the grand scheme of history, a couple years from now, that's going to look like peasants change.
That was 2022. He signed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he didn't go the 4 years. He ended up over in Tampa Bay or something.
So I wonder.
No, Aaron Rodgers. Never mind.
Aaron Rodgers.
Never mind. He may still be there.
You're thinking of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do I know that?
Wow, that's good pull.
Scottish First Minister Nicola Sturgeon finally apologized to the 4,000 Scots, mostly women, accused of witchcraft between 1563 and 1736. Yeah, all the witch hunts and everything. We also have Sydney. The city of Sydney had their wettest start to the year since records began, recording 822 millimeters of rain amid widespread flooding. What is that to meters? What is that to feet? 822 millimeters. You know what? I'm going to look that up here really quick. We have 7 minutes and only a couple articles left, so 2 feet. Let's see here. 2.6 feet. Okay, well that's deep.
Yeah.
But this is the start of the year, so this is like from January 1st till now.
I don't know when there's. You can start a year. Either they started during the rainy season, or who knows what.
All I know is Sydney has the wettest start to the year since records began.
There you go. Okay, so maybe this year.
2022, the UK band Glass Animals' song Heat Wave set new record of 59 weeks for longest time to reach #1 on US top Billboard 100. We also have Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky invoked Winston Churchill speaking virtually to the UK Parliament. We will not fail, we will fight till the end.
That was a Churchill saying.
Yeah. I'm sitting here, and at first I'm just like, how dare you clown, utilize the words of the great Winston Churchill. But then again, Winston Churchill was a globalist, elitist, New World Order shill, so maybe it is fitting. 2023, 171 trillion pieces of plastic now litter the world's oceans, increasing from 16 trillion in 2005, estimates scientists from Geiger's Institute. Well, that's just an estimation. You're pulling that number out of your ass. 2023, we have the oldest known reference to Norse god Odin from the 5th century, revealed on the gold disc from Vindeliv Horde, Western Denmark, by Danish scientists. 2 years ago on this date, a report by the Pentagon into UFOs since 1945 found no evidence of aliens or extraterrestrial intelligence. Yeah, bullshit. And last but not least, 2025, more than 1,000 people, including at least 700 civilians, are killed in clashes between the Syrian security forces and former Assad loyalists in Latakia province, one of the highest death tolls in Syria since 2011.
Wow.
Yeah. And that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. A lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis. We can only bring you a portion of what we found between two different sources. This whole show, this hour, is not even everything that happened on this calendar date throughout all of history. Yeah. It is up to you to find the artifacts of said history, but only if each individual reaches out with and for open mindfulness, with a yearn to learn, to see outside what you think to grow and find enlightenment. We have to find common ground with those who see their opinions differently from our own and find a better way to be better to one another. For your dose of Past Events Daily, we stream at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I'm AO Xander.
Golden Loon.
And UVRU. Thank you so much for coming in and watching us. Until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles! All right. Oh, I have comments here. Toxic masculinity.